Hello, my name is Debbie Robinson. I'm a certified health coach, a certified yoga therapist, and I am passionate about food and cooking. I love to travel the world to learn how other cultures have used food, herbs, nuts, seeds, roots, and whatever they could find to help heal their mind and their body. I want to teach you a healing concoction I learned in Bali called Jamu. This has been used for many generations to help with inflammation and many ailments in the body. Whether you are experiencing joint pain, gastrointestinal distress, inflammation in your joints, this can be something that can come to your aid. So I'm just going to use a basic recipe today that I learned when I was in Bali. The ingredients that I'm going to use are turmeric, and if you've seen turmeric, it looks very much like ginger. It's a root. And what I find is that many healing concoctions around the world use roots in part of their teas and concoctions that they put together for healing. So we're going to use half of a cup of turmeric and half of a cup of ginger. I purchased quite a bit of turmeric and ginger to make a few different concoctions depending on what our needs are. Some more for digestive health, some to release or reduce pain in the body, and then some to help with digestive issues. So when I took a Thai class many years ago, I learned a way to peel ginger is to use the back of the knife. So you can use the back of a knife to scrape. And so I'm just gonna scrape off this skin. And the other thing I wanted to point out is that we're gonna boil this and then we're gonna strain this. So we do wanna have access to as much of the pulp as possible to infuse our liquid to make our juice. So I'm going to scrape, and get off almost all the skin. I'm not going to get caught up in how much I have left. Scraping the skin. So I'm going to get most of the skin off and then cut this up. So that was my ginger. So that's the ginger in there. And I think that I'll go ahead and mortar and pestle this. This is going to release all the juice and create more surface area so that when I do boil it in the pan, it'll be able to extract all the properties we're trying to get out. Ginger is an aid for gastrointestinal issues. It also has anti-inflammatory properties. And the spiciness of ginger may induce a slight sweating. And the skin is one of the major pathways for detoxification. And when we sweat, we release toxins that are stored in our bodies. So it may have a detoxification aspect as well. So if you'd like to see, when I was in Bali, my son was not feeling well. He had a cold or a flu. And everywhere we went, we had them make jamu for us. I pre-measured everything. This recipe that I'm gonna use calls for a half of a cup of ginger, half of a cup of turmeric, and I'll speak about turmeric in a second, a juice of 1 lemon or lime to give it a little tartness, and then a sweetener of choice. You can use maple syrup, raw honey, and I've actually used a local honey because bees that are creating the honey near you are pollinating in the local vegetation around you. And so it may actually help with some of the allergic reactions some people have. So choosing local honey is a really nice thing to do to be in this healing place, in this healing zone. I am fortunate that when I was in Bali, I picked up some Aren nectar. I think that's how you say it, A-R-E-N nectar. And this is a vegan, low glycemic index, healthy honey or sugar substitute. I believe it's from the sap of a tree. And I bought this in the north of Bali when I was there. So I may use that to sweeten up my Jamu. So I'm going to add the ginger to the water. So I have 5 cups of water here. If you've not ever worked with turmeric before, be careful because it stains everything. It stains your fingers, it stains your cutting board. I have chosen to use a non-porous cutting board instead of wood because the turmeric will stain it. And you'll probably see that my fingers will get yellow as well. It's actually used for dyeing a lot of things. Actually, some of the fabrics, when I went to a weaver, a traditional weaver in Bali, they use turmeric to dye some of their yellow fabrics. And this actually smells pretty powerful. It actually has a little bit of a spiciness to it. So again, back to that spicy aspect where maybe it's going to induce sweating in the body, which can be really good for detoxification. And I'm not sure if any of this has been scientifically proven. You know, some things have been scientifically proven at this point, and then some things have been proven for thousands of years by many cultures around the world that use these medicinal healing concoctions to keep themselves healthy and out of pain or discomfort. This does not happen to be a particularly strong staining turmeric root. I've used a few where it's ridiculous. You get it all over the place. I do make sure that I buy organic produce. That's one thing I think is really important, especially if there is going to be some skin left. If you didn't have organic, I would peel it maybe with a peeler and make sure I got a lot more of the skin off, because with non-organic produce, there may be pesticides, and we are trying to use something very healthy and healing and try to buy organic. I got mine at Whole Foods, and I noticed that there was some, I saw some at Bristol Farms as well. And then maybe there are some local Indian stores or international markets that may also, because like I said before, many cultures use turmeric. So now I'm going to place the turmeric in the pot. The next ingredient I'm going to add is the juice of a lemon or a lime. This here is called a reamer, one of my favorite piece of equipment in my kitchen. And I'm actually going to show you something I learned in Thailand. Like I said, you don't have to have fancy equipment. So when I was in Thailand, they took a spoon and they put a spoon in the middle of the lemon and they moved the spoon around to get the juice out of the lemon. You could press it up against the pulp and it'll help to get the juice out of the lemon. So after it has simmered for 20 minutes, let's see if you can see what it looks like. Here it is. That's the beautiful yellow from the turmeric, the ginger. It smells delicious. This is even good to breathe in the steam to help clear the nasal passageways. And I actually feel a little spiciness in my nose from this. So I'm going to strain this. And here is the beautiful golden yellow liquid. At this point, I'm going to add the juice of the lemon that I squeezed. And then I will add the sweetener of choice. I'll add honey once I'm ready to drink it. I will add 2 tablespoons or maybe a tablespoon. I would like to do it to taste. So I don't want to give you a precise measurement. 2 tablespoons is what many like. I usually go with about 1. I like that little tartness and that little bitterness from my Jamu. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and I hope you will venture off to make some Jamu. Here is the finished product of the Jamu. I put it in a bottle. There's more than this. And what I'll do is I'll take this out every day and heat it up, make myself a nice cup of Jamu, adding my sweetener, and I'll enjoy the antibacterial, antifungal, antioxidant, and anti-inflammatory properties that exist in my Jamu.